TMC Season 4, Episode 5.
Oh yeah, titles 4-4.
Yes, sir. What do you do, Buffet? Welcome back to another banger episode of TMC Podcast. My name is Guy Luyanda. And on this episode, return someone who's going to teach us that if anything related to design that you've ever known was graphic, maybe this is a chance for you to learn something different. So this guy is a usability analyst and a UX designer. UX designer, right? A UX designer. It sounds like a very, very complicated job title, but it's not that complicated. And I think if you want to learn more about it, just stick around. You might just discover that this is something that's made for you. So, Njaga, thank you so much for doing this with us.
It's a pleasure.
You feeling good?
I'm good.
Amazing. So, for those of you who are seeing us for the first time, TMC is the brainchild of some super cool millennials who love to talk about technology, creativity, almost with a sprinkle of everything else in between. So if that's the kind of stuff that tickles your fancy, please do us a solid, man. Hit the subscribe button. Let your friends know that you're part of the community, because it definitely does keep the magic here alive. So without any further ado, let's kick it off, man.
That's why you're on the podcast.
Let's kick
You're
it
the
off.
right person for this.
Man. I mean, I think I have normalized not. No problem. It's just there on his phone, like easy, relaxed, Okay, no problem. So, Njaga, I think I've normalized not introducing people on the podcast, because I think everyone has something that they want, or like a certain way that they want people to know them, and I tend to fuck it up when I do the intro. So let's just start there. Maybe, briefly introduce yourself, who you are, and what you do, and we'll get into more details.
Okay, cool. So my name is Sechaba. Surname is Meloa. And I'm a UX designer, you mentioned, which is also known, as a usability analyst. So now usability analyst. I came from Soweto. Always had big dreams. I think studied art.
Okay, so what in art?
Fine art.
Fine art.
Yeah.
Oh, like fine art, so drawer or
Yeah.
Okay.
Drawer. I majored in sculpture.
Okay.
That's one interesting thing which I felt like was useless, but I'm actually appreciating today. Fine art is a very interesting skill that I think, everyone should try. And maybe not everyone, but I think if you can try it, do it, I've been working in the tech space for about 10 years now. I never really knew what I wanted to be. I wanted to be everything.
Okay.
Because I think, Mudimo Hafa, the, skills and talents. And they like saying when God was dishing out talents.
Yeah.
Now Anti Mashem.
Ne?
Now it's just
I'll feel
it, and
For sure.
for me, I just feel like anything that I touch turns into gold.
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, people will say but truth is, if with anything that I've done, I found that it always just blows up.
Yeah, what a way to start, Buffet. What a way. I have a lot of questions. I wonder why you didn't pursue a career in fine art. But I just want to get into it. We'll get to it, right? You'll tell us more about why you didn't pursue a career in fine art. But maybe you want to tell us one or two, renowned companies that you have worked for as like a usability designer. Just 1, 2.
Two companies. My most recent one was Anglo-American. So I was doing UX in the mining space. And then I also worked at Nedbank.
Okay, Bafethu, so wabona more to experience. So you in for a serious ride. But before we get started in Jag on TMC Renale culture, and if I don't do this, they'll kill me. So the first one, we have a question that was left by the previous guest. And secondly, we're going to play an icebreaker, which will be led by MC. So we'll get into how that works out. But if you saw our previous episodes, you should know.
So what's a lesson you learned the hard way that others in your industry should know about? I can even leave this as an open-ended one. What's a lesson that you learned the hard way that you think others should know about?
I would tell my younger self to just try everything that comes to mind. Follow through and do everything that comes to mind. Yeah, because my belief is that, sorry, I'm going to speak about, I know people have different beliefs, so I'm going to refer to God or source. I'll just use the term interchangeably. Yeah. But I feel that, God trusts you with thoughts are communications from God. That's what I believe, right? Yeah. God gives you an idea, right? And you have to follow through on it. Yeah. And so when that idea comes to you, you have been trusted with it and you have to run with it.
Perfectly, God gives us ideas and we have to, the least that we can do is follow through. Msizi, Jayam, it's your turn. Let's play the icebreaker, my dog. Welele.
I am within. Okay, Chabaristo, how are you doing?
Yep, good.
Welcome.
But I must win.
Oh, okay.
I will see. We'll see.
Okay.
I got it.
Welcome to the TMC Trivia. You already know what's going down. People can see me. Can you see me, guy?
No, I don't need to see.
Oh, you don't need to see me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But can you hear me?
Yes,
Which is
loud and clear.
I say my name, I need to say my name.
Yes, please.
To answer.
The rules are, I ask a question, you listen to the question and the options, and you say your name first before I can recognize you.
What if I already know the answer? So I have to listen to the
options? Just listen.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
I want to understand. I need to. What are the rules?
Because what you should do, Mzizi, if
Don't be like the guest because I'll
if he says
penalize
his
you.
name-
I mean, don't be like our host because I will penalize you now.
yeah, so the now you have to penalize. The penalty is the question goes to the next person. Okay.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's just-
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number one. What does SMS stand for?
Ciao.
Mzizi, you were gonna give us options,
Oh.
right? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yes, sir.
That should tell you I love winning.
Very competitive here. Or you know what? We can change it a bit today. If you know the
go
answer,
ahead.
just say your name.
No,
No.
Because you two are the same now.
No,
Give the
rules
options.
are rules. Why are we changing rules for Sechaba?
Because Nina need to.
Go
Nina
ahead.
the same
dog.
day.
What are the options?
Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah.
What does SMS stand for? Is it A, short message system, B, standard messaging service, C, smart messaging service, or D, short message service?
Ciao.
No, Chab, it's already
Guy
come
has
to
to
me.
answer.
I hate losing.
The short messaging system. Service, short
okay.
messaging service.
One to our host.
Yes, sir.
Number two, please listen to the full question and options before you state your name.
Got it.
What does ATM stand for? Is it A, automated transaction machine? Is it B, automated teller machine? Is it C, account transfer mechanism? Is it D, automated transfer method?
Ciao.
Chabaristo.
Automated teller machine.
1-1. 1-1.
Man.
Did you even know, guy?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I'm fit.
I'm just checking.
No, you got the program. I have to win.
Oh, okay. Number three is, guys, I'm just giving you acronyms today. What does MTN stand for? Is it A, Mobile Telecom Network? Is it B, My Telco Network? Is it C, Mountain Telecom Nigeria? Is it D, Mobile Telephone Network?
Guy.
Okay, guy.
So what's A?
A is Mobile Telecom Network. Or B, my telco
It's A.
network.
It's A.
Incorrect. Sechaba.
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Serious?
Okay. Are you serious? 0 to both of you.
What's the correct answer?
I choose Nigeria because I think MTN is big in Nigeria.
Yeah.
but
That I know.
The question is, what does MTN stand for?
What does it stand for?
No, it's the one with Nigeria. That's why I said Nigeria.
No, it's mobile telephone network.
Yeah. Telecom, telephone. Yeah, I want it. Anyway.
Can I suggest something? Maybe also make the options visible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Last two. The score is 1-1.
Yeah.
What does ABSA stand for? Is it A, African Banking and Savings Association? Is it B, Elliott Banking in South Africa? Is it D, Amalgamated Banks of South Africa? Oh, sorry, that was C. Is it D, Association of Bank Services in Africa?
Sechaba. C.
Okay, C is the answer.
Yeah.
You didn't know that, nigga.
No, I.
Oh, okay.
Now
you know.
Yeah, it's ABSA. I recently heard that from Penno. He was talking about
Same year.
that ABSA is made up of a series of banks that came together, which is a first class.
Amalgamated.
Basically. Yeah.
Last one is, what does PDF stand for?
Okay.
Is it A, portable document file? B, printable data format? C, page description file? D, portable document format?
Guy.
Away, guy.
What's A?
Portable document file. Or B, printable data format? C, page description file?
It's A.
Guy, you are incorrect.
I was waiting for that. You know why?
Chaba, for the
It's
cup?
printable.
It's printable.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's portable.
Am I wrong?
It's portable.
Portable document format,
Not file.
not file. It's format.
The format.
Yeah. It's portable. I know it's portable document.
Who won?
Our guests won. It's 2-1.
Yeah, this was a tight game, yo.
Ngicela umkaye i-Ballon d'Or.
Acceptance speech.
I won.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, 2-1. So yeah, this is the part where we play that
I don't know. I'm not
slow
surprised. I know.
music. And then
Well, that's the part where you play it.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank God, firstly.
Oscar Tabela Mike.
Yeah, I'd like to thank God, firstly, for making sure that I always win.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And trusting me with all these skills that He's given me. But on the real, and I'd like to thank my opponent for, behaving and allowing me to win. yeah. Not good
Yes,
at
sir.
speeches.
Like say, now the ice is officially broken. I'm sure we can just get started. So Msizi, we nice, right? Yeah. So Jaga, what we did before this, before we started actually with the chat, we asked AI a question, and then I'll just assume it's a he. Nah, AI. Yeah. And then he gave us it. Like what we personalize, okay. Like give what can personify once on. Yeah. And then so the question was actually, what is the single most important skill people should develop to stay relevant alongside AI?
To stay relevant.
Yeah. Alongside AI.
AI. I think it's understanding how to write quality prompts. Yeah. And what skill would that be related to? It's writing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So let's just maybe unpack it just a little bit for somebody who don't understand what prompts are. Like, what do you mean when you say writing?
So prompt is you putting together an instruction or asking questions to say, write me a speech that is going to be, written or going to be said for this type of audience. So giving clear details so that you can get a accurate response.
Okay.
So a prompt would be that, just saying, if I want to, what is the word? Get a business idea.
Is that something that you have zoomed into yourself, even? Like learning how to actually
Right prompt
AI better? Yeah.
I mean, right now we're kind of forced to do it,
Yeah,
especially because we getting to a world where we basically rely on it.
Yeah.
It makes or breaks whether you can get a job or not.
Yeah,
right?
that's fact.
Yeah, because AI is being built into a lot of a lot of systems, a lot of processes, a lot of workflows, and so if you don't know how to use that correctly, and then it kind of works against you.
Based off what you would have learned thus far, what would you say constitute like close to, like, maybe for a lack of a better word, I'd say perfect. What constitute like a perfect prompt, right? So what elements should a prompt have for you to actually get the best response from AI?
It's hard to answer that. I think if you gave me a live example, because that question is like, how long is a piece of string, right?
Yeah,
you need to
for
know
sure.
what am I going to use this string for,
Okay.
so you need more details to understand. I'll just use the speech example.
Sure.
Is to say, I need to know that it needs to write me a speech that's gonna last. Let's say maybe I've been given 2 minutes. Write me a speech that can last 2 minutes. All right.
Okay, so
That
that's the length.
you need to understand the length.
Okay, so maybe slight
understand
chai.
the context, the tone.
Okay.
So even when you prompt it, you say, I want it to be a humorous speech, and this is going to be addressed to the president, and I'm given 2 minutes. It shouldn't be offensive, So you just input all the criteria, right? Like if you brief me and say, you're going to be talking, this is what you're going to be talking about. Make sure, Hore, you cover that ground. It's like guiding it, and then it'll formulate your answer.
I love to hear that. So what AI thinks is the most important skill is adaptability, being able to learn new things quickly and adjust to change. This helps people stay valuable as AI takes over routine tasks and technology evolves. Yeah, so I guess adaptability is that, because probably what you knew, Maubani, will not be true today, especially with how rapid things are changing. You know? Yeah. Nalena sometimes again, I'll overtake imposter syndrome so much that have to put about certain things that I used to be sure about in my line of work, and I'm like, maybe that's no longer the truth anymore. Like, would you say the same applies to your line of work?
I agree. Yeah, it does. I can use my journey, my career. I mean, I went from banking to insurance to mining, right?
Yeah.
And when you move from company to company, industry to industry, things are different.
Yeah.
One example is, I was thinking about learn something when I was when you go to sites, or in fact, even the offices, that, for example, where you need to park a reverse, when you are on your phone, when you take a phone call, you have to stop,
Sure.
because they're drilling safety.
Yeah.
It's all about safety. It needs to filter through in everything that you do.
Yeah.
You don't text and walk. You don't text and drive. You plan. You always check and make sure dilo di sharp.
Yeah.
So, but the adaptability is true. You need to be able to function in any environment that you put in.
Yeah. Away. So, Njaga, you are a UX designer and a usability analyst. Let's get a little bit into that. For someone who has never heard of these terms before, how would you explain them to, like what is it? Like, how would you tell them, like, guys, this is what this is actually? Let's start, because this feels like two separate things, or is it like just one? Maybe they use
it's
two
one and the
different words.
same. people argue and say it's different, but it's the same thing.
All right, just maybe just take us through it. I'm 7 years old now. Maybe let's say just fresh out of matric.
I
maybe
like that.
I had
I was gonna ask who am I answering?
who am I answering? For sure.
Yeah, because
fresh out of matric.
Yeah.
I'm not sure ke batlo kena ka into the next career, and then somebody tells me about like UX design or usability analyst. Like
Yeah. So UX design is user experience. So it's short for user experience. That's the UX design. I think it came from building tech, your systems platform. When web design, building apps. When it came from there, because initially people would build these platforms, websites, but then they weren't really custom built around the end user.
Yeah.
Right? So what UX does is you're given a problem, and then you go and understand who's the customer and what are their needs. Right. But a UX, like a UX designer, you're like the middleman, right?
Yeah.
You're the bridge between business, or three key pillars: business, the user, and systems, right?
Yeah.
So what you can achieve is reliant on all those three pillars. What can our technology achieve, and what does business want to build, and what do our users need, right?
Yeah.
So, but then back then, people just build and say, no, here's a website, use it, expect it to work.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's almost like you forcing the user to encounter something and adapt. Which is what?
So this would be
ChatGPT is saying like be adaptable.
Yeah.
But in UX, it's slightly different, right? You build. You are the one. The UX designer is the one who's adaptable. Who needs to be adaptable, right? To say, what we want to achieve is this, but we need to execute it in this way. So if I'm, there's different types of cups.
Okay.
But understand, this cup is something that's going to be used once or for. And then you say, okay, let's use cheap material that can still hold. So this is paper.
Yeah.
But it's designed in a way that it can still hold liquids, right? Yeah.
Facts.
And that's why it needs to last a long time. So let's use this type of materials, and so that they can be able to print, etc., etc.
Okay, so this would be maybe almost like the same as somebody figures out, actually, what people hold this thing bare hand, and the material that's used tends to heat up quicker. Maybe let's get a plastic around it so that when they're holding it, it feels better.
Yes.
Amazing.
And then you've got a cup that's meant for hiking or camping that needs to hold the temperature,
Yeah.
If you're going for a long time, the water is still cold. So it's basically taking requirements for different purpose, and then building that system.
Oh, okay. I see that. So basically, UX does not just apply to digital products.
No.
It applies to anything that humans actually use.
Yes, it's a journey. It's a journey. It's experience. And if you think about an experience is not limited to technology or digital.
Sure.
And I'll give live examples, right? When you go buy food, right, in a drive-through, and those are examples. Can I give the example?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Because I've got examples that really get to me, and they're painful to watch, right?
Yeah.
So when you want to go buy food, right, go say maybe KFC, and there's a drive-through. The team puts together, they think, okay, cool. So we want to create the convenience that someone can order while sitting in their car, right? They're gonna come to what? KFC, a brand you know. When I say KFC to you, you know who KFC specializes in chicken. They've got a set menu, right?
Yeah.
So you know who, okay, or if you're a regular, you would know everything. But if I'm not a regular, then I wouldn't know the menu. right?
Sure,
Especially
sure.
because KFC now they're selling megawatt wings,
Yeah,
you know, and that's a new item on the menu, right? So KFC wants to sell that. So what they do is they'll display it on the screen. Bafitla mole, they've got the screen,
Yeah.
right? So they position the screen or the menu close to where you order, right? So that's still part of UX, right? You think,
Yeah, for
okay,
sure,
this person's gonna come by car. The passage needs to be enough. The driveway needs to be enough to fit even a taxi.
Yeah.
So that's still UX. They're gonna turn. They need to have 2 stops. The first stop is where they order. The second stop, that is where they pay.
Yeah.
The third stop is where they pick up. So that's all still a flow.
Yeah.
A workflow. You know, a journey in which someone goes through to buy food. But you see. Okay, I'm not going to go into the problems, but I think I'll explain
okay. I
how.
find this quite interesting, actually. I find it quite interesting, actually.
Must I tell you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So the reason why I use a KFC and that's just one. And this is one KFC in Haarties.
Yeah.
One KFC in Haarties. They've got a drive-through, right? So because remember this. Okay, you buy food, and then it's a business.
Yeah.
They work there. They've got targets, right? So what's happened is that their targets. I think that it's just my guess.
Yeah.
Right? But when I asked the lady why do they do that, they said no. The boss says we're spending a lot of time serving. There's a lot of waiting time.
Yeah.
Right. So we're not serving people quickly.
Yeah.
Fast food. But the problem that they do now, right? They realize, we are being measured on how quick we serve people. But then what they then tend to do, they break that experience for me, the customer, to try and make it look like they're serving me in time. What do they do? When you drive, there's something that it's a I don't know, something that a sensor that picks up that, okay, there's a car.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll notice that when I drive over it, the screen goes on, meaning
Okay.
that it registers that, okay, I'm here. Then the person also gets notified, oh, there's a car. Then they serve you, hi, how can we help you, right? And then by then you are, remember how the space has been laid out.
Yeah.
It's to serve that function, right? The screen is there for me to browse through the menu and place my order. What they do, because the boss is saying to them, you're taking a lot of time to serve customers. So what they do, they stop you before.
Oh, I've seen a lady got tablet in
They
before
stop
you get to the screen. Yeah.
Yes, they stop you before. They didn't have a tablet before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they would stop you before ofitla mole, right? And maybe, I don't know if it's an official thing of them having a tablet there, but I know that sensor was there to also kind of measure, okay, how long does it take us to get this out? So they stop you before, and then you can't order. Now you don't have the luxury of seeing, can I have that, or can I have that, So now, if I'm new, I'm not a customer KFC, then it's a missed opportunity. Then I'm going to stick to Streetwise too.
Yeah, that's
Do you understand?
That's
There's
facts,
customers but order the price.
Yeah.
I've only got $70 in my pocket. I need to see what can $70 get me.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't have that ability to make a decision because that entire experience has been moved around because it's no longer functioning the way it was planned because of a KPI that has been put in place. So we see it a lot in any space, right? Someone makes a change in how we work to say, we don't do it like this now, you do it like that.
Yeah.
A change always has an impact on everything else.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And
Solutions
most of the
create
time,
problems.
it wouldn't even serve the customers.
Yeah. So I think, and what UX does is you go and you say, okay, what will happen if I decide that to stop the people before?
Yeah.
What is this decision
How does
crippling?
it?
What is it changing?
Yeah,
What is the impact of this change?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, the average person that works in that space would not understand or think of their work like that. They're more fixated on this guy is gonna bite my head off because I'm taking long to serve.
Yeah.
But it's quite broad. Even lighting. Yeah. I've got another example. That you know, sometimes these digital things that we use, bright lights actually hurt your eyes. They can hurt your eyes and you can affect your eyesight. McDonald's and Haarties, they've got a problem where at night the screen works perfectly during the day, but at night, now I would just drive past. If I was going there, I'd drive past because I tell them that your light hurts my eyes. Get screens that have two settings to say daylight, night mode, day mode.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, but Fethu, if you are McDonald's or KFC, I'm sure there's some, nuggets that you can take from there just to improve your service.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, Jaga. I mean, let's briefly talk about skills that actually makes for somebody to be successful as a UX designer, right? Okay. Sure, now I know what it is, and I'm still interested. But what skills or qualities would I need to have? Or can I learn in order to succeed?
Okay. What skills you need? The first one, you need to be an empath. You need to be able to empathize with people. You need to be a good listener. You need to be open-minded. You need to really be open-minded, and you need to be curious. When I say curious, what does it mean to be curious? You need to be someone that asks questions. You need to always ask why, question everything, which is why I till to this day, well, not till to this day. I actually thought art. Remember, I said to you, I thought art was useless, but no, because art actually taught me to question things, right? So you need to be someone that questions a lot. You need to. I think I've covered it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the skills that you mentioned, well, I mean, they're not technical skills, right? They're maybe like soft skills, and they can mostly be underrated in the workplace, right? They say, hore, maybe you just don't need to be a people's person to succeed in this space. What would you say to somebody who thinks that their technical skills can actually get them, to the next level, or just like help them progress in their lives? Like, I don't need to like people. I don't need to be empathetic. Like,
yeah. So there are roles or jobs that is, quite true. Developers most of the times are people that keep to themselves. They don't interact with people. They're given a brief and then that's it. They focus on it, right? Yeah. But for UX, you need a good balance, but you need a lot more soft skills, because it's all about the user. It involves you now engaging people. And if you rely heavily on your technical skill, I don't think you'll thrive quite well. Yeah, because you need people to open up. And I mean, for example, I did. When I was the last role I was at Anglo, I had to go. When you do your contextual inquiry, right, is just to go and understand, or on a day, what does guy's day look like? How long is guy's shift? What does guy focus on in a day? And you realize, people, some spaces people close up because they think, EMPMP is here to investigate but if you're good with people and you can engage, and break that wall, you need the soft skill. If you don't have it, you'll go and release your solution and it'll just sit there. That is a very costly a mistake.
That's actually a good point, because if you for that kind of an exercise, for example, if you go on site and people feel like you are not there for them but against them,
yes,
they will end up telling you what they think you need to hear.
You get it.
And that does not necessarily help your cause. But anyway, Doc, there's this thing that, renowned designers used to say, Hore, good UX is not necessarily seen, but it's felt, and I was actually watching this guy the other day. It was like asking this guy, and like, Joe, what is it like being tall? Like they were talking about tall privilege. And then he was like, man, what's one? Like, it is what it is. Then he was like, that's actually like when somebody who has a lot of money would say, money means nothing,
Yeah.
because like you are living that kind of experience and it probably means nothing to you because you never had to live without it, right? So the same as like mostly how shebile a product or maybe something on screen that is well done or maybe a cup that is perfectly done, it's hard for you to actually realize that actually this is so dope, right? But when something is broken in design, that's when you can actually like pick it up. But actually, there's something wrong about this design, and I think maybe we get criticized more for the wrong things that we do as designers than being getting complimented for the right things that we do. It's like the right things that we do, they don't really land, So maybe like let's talk slightly about that, Jorge. Why do you think it is that you only recognize a design when something is not right about it, but when everything is perfect and is where it's meant to be, it's hard to even begin to compliment it?
Yeah. So I like to say it's human nature. It's just naturally how we are as humans. That's why you see very bad news get publicity, right? You don't sit and watch news and 90% that's been spoken about is positive things. It's always the bad stuff. So you're right. Like, no one's going to say anything when something is serving them. Yeah. So they're right when they say that, good UX is not seen, it's felt. And you have to do quite a lot, to get to that. You need to understand, get yourself in the user's, in the user's mind, in the user's world, to understand how do you get to that point where someone will not complain. Yeah. But I mean, complaints are good because it helps you to refine your solution. And trust me, in UX, you have to have a strong spirit, because you're not always going to get things right. You need to be someone that doesn't give up. You'll get it wrong because I mentioned that when, for example, you go to site, you build a solution, because they told you what you want to hear, and then you realize, it's not working. You need to go back and understand why is it not working? What improvements can we make to try and make sure that this solution serves the end user? So, yeah, it's just, I guess, as humans, anything that is bad, trust me. Yeah, so if you batla famous, do something that will make you trend.
Yeah, ne?
Something silly.
Yeah. So in actual fact, like I would say, no news is actually good news in design.
Yeah.
Amazing. Because sometimes if some people compliment you too much, you're like, now you're just buying face.
No, though I must say, right, I was thinking about that this morning, that a customer who complains, right, when someone they're complaining, they're giving you feedback. A customer who doesn't complain, it could be that they've walked away. So don't mistake the silence for
it's working.
Yeah, you need to just maybe learn away or let's grand buffet.
Okay.
But you'll see also in the adoption of the system or platform. Yeah. I mean, no one is gonna walk away from something that serves them. Yeah. Sure. And I think you need to have a serving mindset, is that if something you sebeletsa Joe and it's making your life easy, like AI, it reduces you now having to focus on structure, and it just combines whatever you've got the idea, it just puts things together. Then you become dependent on it. If your app reduces the amount of work you need to do, then
Yeah, I use one way to go everywhere. Like main road, that side, I use main road to go everywhere, and I felt like main road works so much better. I don't have to deal with the robot studies are spanning. It's a William Nicole, like I mean that it's kind of like testament to what you're saying. Where if something works for you, you just wanna like stick with it and not run it on.
Yeah.
But let's just get into the day-to-day of like somebody who does what you do, which is like UX design. If somebody is looking to get into that space, so what can they expect to be like their day-to-day?
So if you want to be a UX designer, you need to look forward to long meetings. Well, not long meetings, but long collaborative meetings. Because in that space you work as a team. You need to be someone that is open to working with people. You need to be open. Be good with working on like laptops. What is it? Look forward to a lot of rejection. I mentioned rejection. And I don't know, like, brainstorming sessions. I think that's what you look forward to the most when you come together and just unpack things. What else is it? A lot of presenting, to different stakeholders, in different settings. And I mean, that's, present the same thing in different rooms. It's different presentations. Right? So you need to know, okay, how do I speak to, someone who's like in leadership role? They focus on numbers.
They care about different things.
It's all about numbers. To the guy on the ground, that guy is more interested in how's this gonna work for me. So that's I would say that's
okay,
about
cool.
it.
I mean, you're teaching us a lot about UX. Let me know if you can change your career because I feel like I'm dealing with. Is there money? Is there...
What do you mean? Is there money? There's money everywhere.
Like a lot of people have okay, I want to be a medical doctor. It's because you are set, But with UX, would you say there's decent money for you to lead like a decent life? You can afford like a nice apartment in the north, a nice car, but like, is there money?
Okay, in UX, here's what I'll say, and this is just based on my experience. The money conversation is an interesting one. I think it depends on the industry where you've been. It's not said to say a junior UX designer earns this much, a medium UX designer, a senior or lead, right? You could be a lead designer, working in some agency, and you could be earning the same as a junior UX designer in a bank, a junior UX designer in the engineering space. So it's relative to each company. They use their own discretion. They've got their own pay scales. And I mean, this if you look at these websites where they say an average earns this much, it's not always accurate.
Okay, let's personalize this to you, dog. I'm still not going to ask you how much you earn, but let's say you have a company, right? And you're hiring a UX designer. They've never worked as a UX designer before, but they have a criteria by me. And you have all the means. Money is not problem, business. How much would you give them? How much would you give them?
It depends on how much I'm making.
No, it doesn't matter. Like, money is not your problem. Money is not your problem.
If I'm generous, guys. I'm generous.
Yeah.
I would pay in relation to, input.
Okay, sharp.
And not give you...
Let's say they're doing everything they're supposed to be doing.
Nice 100,000.
100,000 per annum.
Per annum. Hey, guy. Sentin apartment. How much is a car? How much is a car?
We're talking about like somebody who's starting.
Or starting?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, we're talking about somebody who's
you're not
starting.
giving me
now,
the right prompts.
No.
Give me the right
Isan,
prompts.
Isan,
I'll
ask
give you the
Isan,
right
dog.
answer.
A junior. A junior. You are hiring
So
a junior.
junior, yeah, 25 up.
Okay,
Yeah,
25,
up.
man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Bad. So,
So you can, you
yeah.
can at least get your apartment, you get your car.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good to compensate people, right? Because it eliminates a lot of. You can't design on an empty stomach.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts.
And yeah.
And you want to keep happy people because riding in your team.
But people are never happy, bro. People are happy for that 25 is good now, and then
until you get used to it.
You get used to it. Some people are good with their money, they'll invest their money and live within their means. Yeah. But a lot of times,
okay, dog.
Lifestyle will blow up.
Yeah, it always does, man. It always does. Like yourself. I remember there was a time I used to earn 3.5 and I was okay. In fact, you remember, Mar? In fact, we lived a life on 3,500 and we were good. But now how check that money has multiplied exponentially and then you're like, damn. Yeah, but anyway, Njaga, what would you say is that one myth that you'd like to debunk about UX design?
UX design?
Yeah.
Myth. I don't know if I encountered any myths around UX design. You're making me think.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe what You're
going to edit that out, right?
Once in a while.
Myth. I'm trying to think. I can come back to it. What is the myth?
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Maybe I want a myth. maybe everything that people say about UX is true, or maybe it's just not spoken about enough. Maybe let's just say about being a professional. Like maybe let's say myth about being a professional. Professional.
Guy, you're making me think, bruh.
Okay. Okay, this one.
Myth about being professional.
Yeah.
Let's a positivity.
Hey, even the positive ones, people believe this is the positive one, but maybe it's not like all true. Okay,
maybe, let me put it this way. I've got a myth. One myth is, we should all everybody goes through work.
Yeah.
Everybody who has a career. Everybody not everybody. We are made to believe that you need to from junior, intermediate, senior, manager.
Yeah.
Right. Not everybody will get to that level. That template is not it's not gonna work for everyone.
Yeah.
There are people that will stop at management, not management, sorry, at senior level.
Yeah.
Right. And just end there. And that's you for your entire career. Because leadership is a calling.
Yeah.
So if the myth is that you need to start Kotlase and work your way up all the way to CEO.
Yeah.
And not everyone is going to be CEO.
Okay, Njaga. And I feel like right now we know so much about the work that you do, but so little about you as a person. So maybe let's just track back just hanyane and talk a little bit about your upbringing, where you grew up, the kind of schools that you went to, and maybe just a few things that you picked up, some inspiration from, right, while growing up.
I grew up, lived in Soweto.
Yeah, where in Soweto?
Now I'm a mover, guys. I've been moving.
Yeah.
I've Nerdula ko Mapetla.
Okay.
That's where, I guess, when I was born. We lived there. And then we moved from Mapetla, moved to Glen. From Glen, I moved to Protea North. From Protea North, then I left Soweto.
Why did you move so much?
Yeah, it was a tough one. So we moved, the Kumapetla, we lived with my grandparents. Okay. Yeah, so it was my grandparents' house. So not like a back room. And then we left back room. My parents got married, and then they got married. Then I was born, and then they lived in the back room. Then they left the back room. They bought a house called Protea Glen. We lived at Protea Glen, and then my parents went through a divorce, and then we left the house, and then we moved to my grandparents on my mom's side. So we lived on my dad's side, grandparents on my dad's side, and then we moved to my mom's parents, which is called Protea North. And then from Protea North, we then moved to Hillbrow, which was an extreme sport. Yo, you ever dodge
You
bullets,
saw
bro?
things there.
Yeah,
What year was this when you moved to Hillbrow?
1990. That exposes how old I am. 1990.
I was in 1990. No, Dala
Was
was.
it 1990? No, 98, 99.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 98, 99. That's when we moved there. So Nerula called Fleting, it was the hospital's residence.
Okay.
And so my mom's a nurse, and we lived there, for some time.
How was it like? Like, I mean, you've been staying Kosovo your whole life. It's a township. Even though like things are happening like at a fast pace, but now Hillbrow, it's the next level. You know, how would you say like life changed for you, and then what adapted one?
Hey, man, at that time, you're young. You're just going with it. Yeah. Mom says, you go. You got no control, no say over it. But we went, and, you just go by it,
And you
dodge
like
bullets when you have
it feels like
not
the
even,
next level. It didn't feel like that.
It didn't feel
Okay.
like that. Nah. I mean, it was skires,
Yeah.
And it wasn't like flat go Kilani or Haarties or,
Sure.
Yeah, it's you could feel or more residents more. Yeah. It wasn't anything fancy, Yeah. I mean, most of the time they'll play Area Soweto on weekends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And at
So-
schools?
The way I feel like, schools, my entire from crash, I've been Kikenako Tropong.
Okay.
Again, I'm going to expose how old I am. If you don't know Transvaal, yeah, it was around those times, right? Transvaal Memorial Institute, it was called TMI.
Okay.
Krecha thing. I think my mom used to work there. So then we were one of the first few batch of, kids.
With the Kaskin tone.
Yeah. Who were welcomed to who were accepted in the school.
Yeah.
So I went there all 5-6 years, and then I went to a school called Roseneath in Parktown, which is not far from the preschool. And then I was there from grade 1 until grade 4. Yeah. And then from grade 4, we left. I went to Naturena Primary. Naturena was not. I love my hood.
It wasn't
but
Ayoba.
it was a big shock for me. It's like it felt like Yakukasi.
Okay.
It's a school. It's good, but it was a weird shift for me. But I went through it, and then I went to Skolo Sadi Poza, guys.
Age.
Mondio High.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some know it for parties, but it actually produced some good people. A lot of the popular guys. Pop-Ups was from there.
Oh yeah.
Who's this? Mzoake Mbuli Junior, Robot Boy. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Keroro tse di sekolo le mzwake mbuli. Sure.
Yeah, I did. No, Kikeni Liena, Robot Boy, Tando Tabete, she was in our grade.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
Amu the rapper was also there.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, Chaba, you know.
Yes, sir.
Keep yourself. Weekend.
Why not the phone name?
Tony to Joe. You know, who's gonna phone me if you don't phone yourself? Yeah. So, yeah, and then I went there, and then after Mondio, I went through my entire high school was through Mondio, and then went to UJ.
Why you got UJ? It's serious.
No, I take it serious.
Okay.
It's just I frown because my experience. Like, guys, I don't like school. I'm gonna put it out there. I don't like school. I like to learn.
Yeah.
But and maybe until it's diagnosed, right? Maybe I have got a learning disability. But I know that I'm intelligent.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. But I've got a problem. Like whenever I had to write exams, bruh, I'd have anxiety. You know, I'd never finish my exams. Every time I write an exam, I always have to ask for extra time. So I felt like a special kid, you know. I think I am special. I know I'm special. Yeah, kidding. But so even in Liko High School, you know, and this is quite weird. When in grade 9, when we did the career, you know, when they do that whole career thing, where can we put you?
Oh, yeah.
You know, your personality would be suited. And I think it's a nice thing that they did by doing that. They say, we're not trying to like give this role or that role. I hope they've added UX in, you know, in one of them. So I was excelling at science, but failed maths. My teachers never understood. Or how is it that you can do so well at science, but
struggling math?
I did well in biology. I did well in business.
Yeah.
Mara English, Afrikaans, math, all these other subjects. And they never came naturally to me. And art obviously.
Sure.
That's the only distinction I got. So but school was a bit of a hassle for me. Even UJ, it took me 5 years to finish a 3-year course. Yeah. Oksala, and I'm grateful for the experience.
Yeah.
I also understand that things happen for a reason, right? Yeah. I don't think if I'd finished any earlier, I probably would have not. You know, my life would have never gone the way it did. I wouldn't have met the people I would have known. I like saying that life is one big serendipitous encounter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Serendipitous.
So because you encounter things like there's no missed opportunity. You're never late. You're always on time.
Yeah.
Everything happens when it's meant to happen. So you'd feel like, di takataka, you know, di dula sente, di takataka. This guy is now here. This guy is now married. You know, your time will come. Everything has its time. Yeah. So
yeah, man.
That's why I frowned. But I enjoyed. UJ. Yeah. I loved UJ. My experience.
You did like fine arts,
Did fine arts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which campus were you at?
Bunting Road.
Bunting Road.
Yeah, but we always had this.
You stayed
thing.
at rest. Oh, okay.
No.
Actually,
I don't know how to put it. So I didn't stay at rest most first year, second year, third year. Third year I was squatting, bruh.
Oh, you know, okay, for sure.
I was squatting, meaning I'm here, there, you know.
Yeah.
Breaking because parents couldn't afford to pay for res.
I think there's like this inferiority about like UJ students, especially how they go APK. You know how they go.
Bunting.
But Bunting Road is even worse. You know,
Bunting,
like
they used to call it Super Tsela.
Yeah,
and then
Oko UJ Mara is like Oko UJ light, you know? Yeah.
They used to roast. But which campus? You would say, no, I'm at Bunting Mara, not Super Tsela side.
Yeah.
The faculty of art, design, architecture.
Yeah.
That's the side where because it was a new building that was built on that campus. So you're in a school of tourism. It felt like you're in the burbs when you're that side.
Sure.
And you go to the other side, so
Yeah, sure. So, Nchaka, thank you for sharing that experience, Lerena. But I mean, I'm kind of like curious to learn, Jorge, what would you say was like what is that one thing that you learned during your time in school that you still take with you everywhere you go, Lefandak? Like, I don't know if that makes sense. So, yeah, what is it that you would say you have learned and it still applies in your life till this day?
What's one thing that I learned at school? I now was at school for the extramural activity.
Or maybe not just in school, in your life as a whole, right? You spoke about like things happening on God's timing, for example, right? It could be because maybe, during your upbringing, like you always felt like, okay, maybe you were behind, maybe your friends are a little bit ahead of you. But then what you might have learned during that time was that, like, sure, things happen on God's timing. Maybe I don't need to rush it, and somebody's time is not mine. So what what would you say was that like one thing that you have learned and it still applies to the life that you lead today? A deep question.
It's deep.
Yeah.
It's deep. One thing that I've learned that still applies for me.
Okay, maybe
I don't know.
let's pin
Everything.
that. Aripine. Has no repina. Let's get into the next question. I think I see a lot of people attach success to the car, the house, how you dress, how much bottles you can pop at a club.
Hey.
There's so many. What would you say success over and above what it looks like? How would you say it feels like?
I think success, how does it feel? It feels good, man. Being silly. No, what success looks like to me is making sure that, I have fulfilled, my divine mandate. I spoke about, these thoughts that you get are God, it's God speaking to you. And so success is you following through on them. You just even taking the step. You saying, okay, I've got an idea, millennials corner, and actually moving towards it.
Yeah.
That is success. How far you get, it doesn't matter. I think even taking the first step, you've done something that most people haven't even done or are afraid to do, And so I think success is you just getting up and doing and following through on the visions that have been given to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was asking Nchaka before Msizi decided to disturb us. Jorge, Aquila doesn't pay us and like.
And Seattle pays you?
Eh? Is it? Oh, Seattle actually that's Seattle pila wait.
They're still recording. You guys are savage,
Yeah. Msizi, please. I've been asking for Msizi Rari Relejolo. Msizi Garanki Sirazo.
I think Tonze will sponsor, but I must put just visit Haarties there.
Yeah. You must actually, like, for sure. There's so much.
No, that's what you can do. Hey,
there's so
this
much.
Show has been sponsored by. That's marketing. This show has been sponsored by.
Yeah. But anyway, I was asking Doc before Msizi decided to disturb us, Jorge. Who are the people that you can never thank enough in your life for how far you've come?
I think everyone. Every single person I've encountered. There are people that stick out. My mentor friend, and that is Clara.
Clara is your mentor
Clara
friend.
Cruz,
Oh, yeah.
sister as well.
Okay,
She's my
okay.
sister, but she's older than my mom. Yeah, we've had this. She's basically someone who's contributed a lot into just how things have gone in terms of my career. But when I say I thank everyone, even the jobs that I never got, I thank you. Because had you given me that job, I would have probably taken the wrong path.
Yeah.
So everything and everyone that you encounter on your journey, every yes and every no is a blessing. It's working in your favor. Yeah. But the one person has to be Clara.
What's the one lesson that you've kind of like learned from her that you take with you everywhere you go?
Clara has taught me to just do it. Right, yeah. Clara has taught me to, because I like to think a lot, right? I've got, my head is always in planning and thinking, and saying, okay, exploring, and maybe it's the UX in me, right? You want to explore all different types of scenarios and understand where things could fail. But she's just taught me you just have to, fail fast.
Yeah.
Just you'll correct as you go. And just applying yourself. She's mastered it. So Clara is an architect, by the way. I didn't mention that. Okay. So she's the one that designed quite iconic buildings, actually. Part of, I think, Northern Cape Legislature, Cape Town Parliament, Soweto Theatre.
Okay.
What else? And this other cool 17 square meter house. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So she's quite resourceful in terms of using what you have. She doesn't like wastage. She'll make things work. She can make this become a family home, by intelligently using space. And that's a thing. You do things and you think outside of the box, which is. Yeah.
Like a lot of people actually wait for maybe the right time or what feels like the right time, what feels like the right equipment, maybe what feels like the right space or the right people around you to get started, right? Do you think that can actually be a hindrance to progressing in life, like waiting for things to be perfect?
Yes. It is a big hindrance. I fall into that trap. I think as humans, the way we are built, there's always that thing in you that's designed to save you. It comes in the form of fear. And fear keeps you from taking that leap. And you always say, "Hori, I want this to be perfect." Yeah. And truth is, nothing is ever perfect. I coming here, I was like, "Hey, Glory, what am I gonna say?
Sure.
Am I gonna say things right?" And you want things to be perfect, right? But truth is, nothing is ever perfect. And in you waiting for things to be perfect, someone will overtake you.
Yeah, for sure.
Because success favors the brave. You could be sitting with the most, brilliant idea or solution that could be solving people's problems. Yeah. But because you're not brave enough to do it, you are then, you don't thrive. You need to get ahead. Yeah. So
You speak of like things not having to be perfect, right? And this actually gets me thinking, Hori, you seem quite content with where you are in life, right? And it makes me wonder, Hori, do you feel like you're living your purpose? And if like whatever answer you're going to give me, what does that even look like?
So I am very content. I wasn't always like that. Yeah. I think as everyone is, we all have our problems, we all have our challenges. But I've learned to be content.
Yeah.
I've actually got a tattoo that says "Let go."
Get going for sure.
So my philosophy is things will always go the way they meant to go, right? You need to go through the struggle. You need to fail. Things need to fall apart. You have to experience, all sides. I always hear people chasing soft life.
Soft life.
A soft life, and you wanna be bougie and stuff. But to be honest, the best ideas come from struggle. They come from problems. They come from pain. They come from a tough place. Someone has to be heartful and say, I can't take this. I'm going to create a solution for this. But if life is all smooth, bruh, you've got nothing to live for. Everything is fixed. Everything is just running smoothly. Then what? We cry about crime. Crime will never go away. That's one thing you must understand. If crime goes away, then what happens to insurance? Understand?
What happens to Spanish Amahat?
What happens to the cops,
Yeah.
You're all gonna die. So we need a mortuary. So everything has its purpose, but even the most useless thing has its purpose. I think the key thing is just knowing Hori, you have to just be present wherever God places you. Be present. God can decide Kasan, or you have to be a taxi driver.
Yeah.
And you have to accept that.
Okay. Okay.
And life, your destiny pulls you. And I think if you are intuitive enough, you'll see where life is taking you. You've got a Cape Town, right? But along the way, you don't know what you're gonna encounter, and just embrace it.
Sure.
It could be good, it could be bad. Everything matters.
Oh, what a segue, Mfana. Like now you feel like I understand and I know you so much better. I think maybe let's get back hanya and work at UX or like because I
know it good, bro.
But anyway, thanks, man, for like opening up and sharing. I think that was quite useful. I learned a couple more things that I think I needed to learn at this moment about life. Let's talk about how you got into UX. How did you get into the space?
So how I got into UX is serendipitous encounter.
Okay. Sizwile mfana.
Slungy, bro. Hit me, bro. No, it's how I got into UX. I used to work for a company called Trudon. Trudon was the company that made or produced the Yellow Pages. I don't know if you know. Again, I'm exposing the age.
You worked for the Yellow Pages.
If you don't know Yellow Pages, Yellow Pages is a directory that basically where businesses listed themselves. So it was this big yellow book, where people listed their businesses to say, I'm a plumber, I'm in this area, here are my details, right? Sure. So it's one big book with just a list of companies.
Yeah.
Right.
And also important to mention, the pages were so soft that they could be used for other things. It was like
Yo guy. Funny you say that. I actually made a artwork about that, but
for sure.
I never finished it. It was me just retaliating because of my experience of when I was working there.
I remember like my auntie used to work as a domestic worker for this white couple called, I think it was Beckley or something. Go toilet high, like literally we have Yellow Pages.
It had multiple uses. Some people use it to roll.
Yes.
So because it was that book, it was a directory. But at that time things were not digital. So Trudon then got to this digital transformation, transforming the that directory from the book to digital. So what they started doing, they created that directory, and maybe that's where I got the idea. They created that directory, and then they also then added a different service offering, which was websites.
Yeah.
Right. And then so we would design websites for those businesses. So instead of you having just listing and say, yeah, this is, guys, water, this is my phone number, my address. What we started doing is then pulling through, creating websites for them. Yeah. So they would have their own designated page for that. And then we were the ones that were designing those websites. So when we designed those websites, firstly, we were getting paid per product, right? Okay. So you eat what you kill, right? If you complete 5 websites, you get paid for 5 websites. Yeah. And I think a lot of companies need to implement that just to, put some fire under people.
Yeah.
I don't always recommend it. But that, going through that experience, it taught me something, and maybe that's why I've got like a sick work ethic, because they made you build those websites. But then you can imagine what does a site, what would those sites look like? Can you imagine a site that 5 sites built in one day? They look like sites. One of the 5 sites.
Plus, then
the quality was bad, right?
Then there were no platforms like your Webflows and WordPresses. You had to write actual HTML and CSS.
No, it wasn't actual code. So what it was is they used this content. It's almost like it was a CMS platform.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Yeah, so it was like WordPress.
Okay.
Not necessarily. Was it drag and drop? I think it was drag and drop.
So basically, like you use one bargain, you create one template for all.
Yeah, so there were different types of templates to choose depending on
the business. Oh.
Yeah, so you'd sit through all this, like sift through and say, I think this one will work, and then just start populating information. Yeah, but it's so we were mostly focused on the layout, applying the right colors, curating that content on the website, creating galleries, etc. Yeah, so that's how you could build so many in a day, but you weren't, if you're gonna build a proper website, you need to do your competitor analysis. You need to, understand your tasks, what you want that site to do, and plan accordingly, so that you can curate a quality experience. But if you're doing multiple websites in one day, you're not even paying attention to the detail. Rush things will never get you quality. So that's why I said, well, you can imagine what those sites look like. They look like dog's breakfast. Yeah. Then how then I came across UX was that Trudon was an entity, and it had an entity inside, or a subsidiary, and that was called, I think, Leads Machine, and that was like the agency in the company, right? And they then applied UX. They sat with a website and they go and they do research. They engage the customer to say, okay, who is it? What are we building? To make sure they match your requirements. Now, Rona, we didn't have that. Yeah. So now I like to engage people, right? So I went upstairs, I went to them, and then the guy's like, I remember this guy Lebu. Lebu was like to me, hey guys, mina yawona lama site onenza mara akuna UX da.
Sure.
He need UX, and he said to me, no, go check UX, bro. UX is where you want to be. You want to get to that, right? And then I didn't waste time. I was like, let me go and check what is this UX thing. I saw it, and then I just started researching. And that's how I learned about it. And I was like, no, this sounds like something that appeals to me. And then, the rest was history. And at that time, there was a course that was available. He's like, take a course. But I was like, I don't have that money. But I wasn't earning enough,
Sure.
I was earning very little. Because the salary always fluctuated, right?
Yeah.
And you can imagine if I say to you, I've completed 10 sites, then I'll get paid for 10 sites. Yeah. So some months it's 8,000, some months it's 10,000, some months it's 20,000.
Yeah.
There was never that certainty.
Yeah.
And it taught me to be comfortable with uncertainty. Because life is uncertain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who gave you your first opportunity as a UX designer?
My first opportunity
Oh yes,
was in a company that I worked at. So they took me. I can't mention them, but this company took me to So I joined as a multimedia designer, and we did everything from social media posts, designs. So I even did video now. I was flying drones there, and did all the video editing, etc. So I worked there, and then they're like, okay, cool, we need to take you to school, find a course to do, and this came after me being at Trudon. You find a course to do, and then we'll pay for it.
And you already
And I
had
was
that
like,
course.
no opportunity.
Yeah.
I was like, UX, here's the school. And then I went to did this Get Smarter, work check Get Smarter. I was like, Get Smarter, plus prices, doable for the company. They say they're happy, sharp. I sent there. So there's this other guy who was in my team. He was like, no, let's do digital marketing. I was like, you can go digital marketing by yourself, boss. Now I'm going down UX. And he's like, no, okay. And then they're like, no, don't worry. You guys will do digital marketing after. And I said, I'm fine. But the first one is this one.
UX for sure.
And he never did digital marketing. This guy still thanks me today. A friend of mine, then exhibits Alian. He still thanks like, Vana, thanks for, saying we must do UX because, he's seeing the benefit of going down that route. Yeah. I'm not saying digital marketing is not, is not a king. There's a place for digital marketing. Yeah. It's needed, For sure. But for me, I felt Tori UX resonates with me. That's a path I need to take.
Yeah. And then after that company, where did you move to now where you actually became a proper full-time UX designer?
Can I say, Hori, also when you say UX designer, right? It's not 100% UX. Because a lot of times what companies do, they say UX UI. And you must understand that UX is one role, UI is another.
Yeah.
But what companies do, maybe it's a cost saving,
Yeah.
But they say UX UI. It's even given a new term now, product designer.
Yeah.
That means you do both the work of
a UX and UI designer.
I don't know if I'm
salary.
Getting for one salary. I don't know if they amalgamate the salaries. I doubt. But what companies do is that they do that.
Yeah.
So I've never really gotten an opportunity to solely be UX, which is what I've always wanted. In all the companies I've worked in all. Nedbank had that, they in a team they'd say, you're gonna do UX, you're gonna do UI. But when the work gets going, boss, those boundaries or those roles are blurred. You just do la copanya. Yeah. So I've never worked solely as a UX designer. Sorry, what was your question?
So the question was actually maybe who did you work for after your course?
It was Nedbank.
Okay.
Yeah, Nedbank.
And then maybe just take us through the journey.
I say Nedbank, sorry, I was a consultant placed at Nedbank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
By the same company?
No, Red Screen.
Okay, and then how, because now you are from a company that you didn't mention, which it sounds like it was a startup, it was. Yeah, for sure. And then now we can go Nedbank where now it's corporate type vibe. honale order, how would you say, your perception around UX and the work that you needed to do kind of like changed? Yeah.
So it taught me structure. One thing that Nedbank had is they have a set structure where, for example, even the attempt to say, you've got UX, UI, and then working in different in squads. There you are everything, in the old company. But in Nedbank, you say, okay, cool. Now I can't step on toes. I need to stay within this, even though you do, but then it's called out. You fix it. You need to Lona decide as a team, right? Sure. As a squad, you say, "What I know, okay, Sechaba, you're good at this. Handle this. Let's run with it." I think the main aim is just to be resourceful.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Getting into that, excuse
No.
getting into that in Nedbank, right? It feels like now since Ubua about structure, and there's just so much that you need to and there's so much that you learn that relates to systems and structures and patterns when it comes to UX, and most importantly, empathy, because obviously you're serving the users, just over and above your bosses. There's also the users that you need to empathize with or succeed. How would you say like UX, or maybe how did you manage to train your brain to actually think in that way, like in systems, patterns, and also in an empathetic way?
Okay. So, how I learned that it's by just doing. When you do, you learn, and that's what experience is, right? You get to Nedbank, they always said, Hori. That was my first my first experience of doing like user interviews, and we went to the actual branch. And not sure it wasn't. We brought in the branch staff, but then we went to the office Yako Pretoria, and we asked questions. It was like a workshop, just ask questions, and there, that experience was a big eye opener for me. Okay, cool. So this is how things should work. This is how people think in procedures. And how do those then apply to the digital systems that we speak to. One good example also is now Koketswang, where you saw Hori, as much as people are in in their daily roles, but they are governed by ways in which they need to act or carry out certain tasks. So it's taught me to understand, Hori, like everything has everything has a what's the word? Everything has a flow, a certain flow, a workflow, even if it's not quite obvious. I use the example like KFC. To the average person, people won't see it that way. But for me, I'm realizing, Hori, this is a system that is flawed. I guess just by doing things, that's how you learn to think in terms of in a process flow way.
Okay.
If that's even a thing.
Nah, ke flow le process. I think right now, Njaga, we have stayed here longer than we are supposed to. But anyway, we're gonna try and squeeze everything in as quickly as we possibly can. Which leads me to the next question, Dog Hore. Maybe talk us through one project, Elon Hore, you have worked on, and it's like the highlight of your portfolio. Like you look at this project and you feel like, damn, this is the best I've ever done.
The best project I've worked on was in mining. Why? I worked from start to finish and actually realized and shipped the product. So it's actually applied. The product was a safety system, basically integrating all various safety systems right? So, what happened was there was a incident where a big truck drove over a van. There weren't any fatalities. It was a near, fatal.
Was this at Anglo? Okay.
So it happened years ago, 2023. Not 23, 22, I think. No, 21.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know.
2021, yeah. So that happened, and then they then said, okay, let's go and revisit. We've got all these systems, but why wasn't the system able to pick up? What's the issue? There was a stationary vehicle in Eyemi, and this truck, because it nearly blind spot, it drove over the van. Yeah. So then we then said, okay, cool. The mine has data, there's systems focusing on your, positioning of vehicles. There's systems that are in the truck itself. Yeah. So, it's got a collision avoidance system in the truck, but that didn't kick in. Yeah. It's got a lot of sensors. So, but it didn't kick in. They want to, so we have to understand why didn't it kick in. But if we had a system that knew, okay, the area, the one that focuses on area, says already there's a potential risk on a route, and there's a truck that's coming, right? So our system was then processing that data and putting it together. So I worked with it. We had a data scientist on there, so there was an element of machine learning in there, and we were writing all those algorithms ourselves to say, okay, cool. Let the system monitor this. Let this system. We're also building what you call a digital profile of you. So we want to understand, okay, so this is guy normally operates like this. Sure. There's guy mistakes. We know, right? Get guy. And there's mistakes that happen normally, maybe like after shifts, because after shifts you get days off, and when you come back, you're probably not fresh. Yeah. So we'll know when you are operating outside of your normal. So we're processing all that data, putting it together, and say, okay, cool. The control room is monitoring that. Yeah. So that was it. And the biggest for me was, getting to, being in there, and learning about this environment, which I fell in love with.
Sure.
I'd do it again.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds very interesting. I would have loved to be a part of it for sure.
Yeah, no. So basically what I enjoyed about it is that I start from the beginning to the end. And the biggest reason why I say it's my best is because a lot of problems that we encounter in UX, right, is that how UX is about solving problems, right? And problem solving is about you understanding the problem. Now, a lot of times what companies do is that the problem solving happens in this room, normally at the top, and then you're given and say, guy, you are building this. Yeah. Do you understand? Like, you're not there to say, okay, cool. You're not part of the strategy to say, this is the problem I'm solving. Am I really solving the right problem? Yeah. So with being in mining, I then was involved in the, okay, cool, here's the problem. Go and solve.
Okay. Yeah.
So it gave me that the power then to, not power. Power is not a nice word. It gave me it afforded me the ability to then say, okay, cool, what is the problem and how do I solve for it? Yeah. So at an early stage, we could plan our solution handling.
Because now you understand the problem more intimately. It's
yes.
You can see it other than somebody coming to you and saying, there's this problem, but you can see it it's like, like very, very basic level. Yeah. It's like you're actually interacting with the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stephen Gates says it quite. He's got a nice way of
Stephen Gates.
Stephen Gates. Stephen Gates is he's a designer.
Oh yeah.
Very famous designer.
Okay.
He's worked for Apple and these big companies.
I'm sure he's very smart. Steve plus Bill Gates, like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates in one. Stephen Gates. I'm sure
Mara,
he's smart at that.
Stephen. Mara, Steve.
Okay.
Steve, yeah. but it's on Steven. It's the
Yeah,
same.
ke a o tshware, ke a o tshware.
609.
609 njalo, potato potato.
So he said, Hore, and how he explains this, I never really understood it, right? But when he said it, it kind of made sense to me. He said, Hore, if I say to you, you need to redesign a toothbrush, I've limited you to a toothbrush. If I say to you, we need to find a new way of cleaning your teeth, that is open-ended. You can. That's where now you must be creative. But if I say redesign a toothbrush,
Because there you're not even defining a problem,
Yes.
but you're actually telling me what you want me to do.
Yes. Now you're just.
So you're
now
not
you
solving
are-
a problem. You're creating something that you're instructed to create.
Yes,
So,
yes,
okay. ke a o tshwara. So speaking of that, right? I think maybe what would be the one thing that you know for a fact that beginners in UX would need to understand?
things that beginners need to know. They need to know you're not always gonna be right. Yeah, you're not always gonna be right, and you need to always be open-minded. Yeah, the big thing is people like you think, okay, I'm going in for the solutions, but your solutions are not always. They're actually going to cause problems. I said earlier. I said, problems, solutions give birth to new problems. Yeah. So you need to always have that open mind. Okay, cool. What do I, this is what I'm proposing, but what is the impact of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaga, let's talk about yeah, ngiphethe ntwana yami. I mean, yeah, that go bona ke na yika e o sonkile ke re ke or ke revisit artist. Diaparo ke di thole ra. But tell me about that. What's Visit Haarties, man? What should we know about it? Because I think it looks super sleek. Yeah. We are even. That actually looks like why one of that tunnel the dam.
Yeah.
Is it the
it's
one?
taken from that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Msizo nokuyazi nje. Oh, now do you know that bridge on the dam?
This
The
is
tunnel
this
type
is the
thing.
King Tourist.
Oh, I'm Caesar Vela for sure.
King of tourism.
So what's Visit Artist?
Visit Artist is my brainchild.
Yeah.
What it is I mentioned earlier, or maybe that's where the idea came from when I worked at the directory.
Yeah.
So basically, what Visit Artist is a directory, but that is centered around tourism, right? Okay. And how it came about is that in 2020 I moved to Haarties, so I was staying in Haarties, and what happened was that people would always ask me, right, to say, "Hey, bra, I see you in Haarties. What can we do?" And I was like, "Don't you have Google? Don't you have Airbnb? Don't you have all these platforms that you can consult? Why are you coming to me?" So then I took it upon myself to say, okay, cool, let me try and understand why is it that people keep asking me. I realized, okay, part of it is people want a credible, like, it's like, it's a referral thing. Yeah. It's even when people hire, you get a job because someone has vouched for you, right? And so I was like, maybe I need to build this platform that can vouch for places.
Yeah.
And then, it came about, and I recently just went live with it. So, I'm busy onboarding, various businesses on there to, just for people to market themselves and make it easy for people to find a centralized place where you can find everything.
Okay. So if I'm looking for something cool to do in Haarties.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily for people back on. Even locals will benefit from it. Like if you want your specials, you just go there. You'll see what specials are there today, what specials are here tomorrow.
How do you make money from it?
So it's people pay to be on there. So it's like
okay.
it's like
Okay.
for you to be on the platform, you just pay a monthly fee, and then you can, depending on the package you take, you'll have different you'll be able to, for example, upload your events. There's a number of events that you can, depending on the package you have, you can have a lot of events, or you can have like a few. So there's always a limit. Yeah. And then, so that's how basically I've monetized.
All right, amazing. Love to hear that, dog. Love to hear that. So it doesn't clash with your 9 to 5?
Currently, I don't. This is my 9 to 5 for now.
You don't have a job?
Yeah, I'm unemployed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I know it's an entrepreneur.
So here's what I was saying, right?
Yeah.
I'm not employed.
Yeah.
And it's because, the contract right now,
Yeah.
But when I look at it, from the lens of my higher self, I said earlier, things happen for a reason, right? And this idea was planted in my head.
Yeah.
In 2021. What I did is I registered domains, created profiles,
Yeah.
and then I just parked it.
Okay.
I didn't
because you're too swamped. Let's buy.
I get soft. It's sort of soft.
Yes.
Salary again.
Salary again.
There's no fire.
Yeah.
There's no motivation.
Yeah.
So then the idea didn't really go. Wasn't really flowing. And then only towards the end of like last year did I then pick it up.
Yeah.
And I thought the contract would be renewed, but nothing. I've applied for jobs and nothing really came up. I even thought, I need to go and slaughter a white chicken or something.
Maybe by full.
Yeah, but my understanding is, I need to push this out first. Let it soar. And but it's not that demanding. Yeah.
I mean, I really think that, sometimes for things to come together in your life, what God does, he well, when I speak like you now, like what a God. Tom says you've never heard me mention God on this podcast. I'm sure you've never heard me mention God on this podcast. So what he does, he would remove all these distractions. Dog, I want to strip you of everything is distracting you from actually reaching your actual potential. And sometimes distraction feels like comfort. Like where you feel like this is comfortable, this is where I should be. Maybe that's actually what's distracting you from, getting to the next level in life. And I think maybe that's probably what happened to you. You needed to not have a 9 to 5. You needed to not be taken for the job that you applied for in order for you to actually like really tune into this thing. Really meant so much going. And at the end of the day, you're building something that is going to remain yours for, as long as you're still working on it. Yep. Yeah. So Njaga, there's people who are out there still figuring it out. They feel like maybe I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing. Maybe I'm where I shouldn't be because what do you have to say to someone who's like feeling like really run down, like dinto adikopane?
It's into time again this kopane.
Yeah.
So it's really a tough place to be in. I time and again have to remind myself that you have to go through that phase where things don't come together. But in that time, spend time and reflect just to try and see, are you doing the right thing? And like anyone in life, we're all trying to figure it out. Like even the CEO is trying to figure it out. You could be at the top there and make it seem like you know what you're doing, but no one really knows. We're all figuring out this whole life thing. Yeah. You said something also quite good, Ori. What was relevant yesterday is not relevant today. Sure. You're not the same guy that walked into this room. When you leave here, you're a different person because you've learned something. So that's it. Just you never stop. Just try. Mara again, and that's the tricky thing about life, We say zama, but ukzama no horuzama uqala kai ufella kai, It's because it's an art, There's a saying that says, smooth seas don't make skilled sailors, right? And to be a skilled sailor, you need to know when you need to, use the energy, use the, okay, this is the right wind. I need to release the sail. I understand. So it's a science knowing when to try and when to just relax. Yeah. Because sometimes you're going through that because you have to rest. Yeah. Lilona is the same. If you don't rest, your body will make you rest.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So we all, each and everyone has their fair share of tough times. The same way we have winter and summer. It can't always be summer. You need and you need the opposites. You need cold seasons, you need warm seasons. You need day, you need night, and life is like that. It's got on and off. It's got polarities. Yeah. So you just have to be comfortable with that. And how kopan, uska forja, uska foster, don't try and force your way through things. When a yes, a no sometimes is a blessing, and that's what you need at that point in time. Because the worst thing is you putting energy in something that's not really meant for you, because it makes other people. It's like people that pay to get jobs, right?
Yeah.
You pay to get a job. When you bribe, what you're doing is you then forcing yourself in there. You're now taking it upon yourself. We say no, now and how can only because you're not called for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You then now make work a miserable space for other people because you're not the chosen one to be doing that. So learn to go with the flow, and go where life is pulling you.
Nice. Hey, mfethu, ubuile soka muruti omusirase ra. Ubuile soka muruti omusirase. So now is that part of the podcast where you have to leave a question for our next guest. Unfortunately, we are not sure who it is yet. Sisi, do we know? Okay.
Just a general question. Whew. General question. Wait, you didn't ask me my question.
No, I did.
You did?
Yeah. This guy asked you, what question would you, or like what advice would you give to your younger self?
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
You don't have to be deep.
So, what will people remember you for? What legacy are you leaving behind?
Okay. Nice. Whew. But fair to this, it's definitely how we come to the end of season 4, episode 5, right? Episode 5 of TMC Podcast with Sechaba. Kenkonja, what's your last name?
Meloa.
Sechaba Meloa.
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 Yeah, just being silly.
Sechaba Meloa, Bafethu. So yeah, I had so much fun, and I think if there's anything that I take away from this episode is that Oscar forced and fate, sometimes where you are is exactly where you were meant to be, and just forcing things and taking it upon yourself to make sure it happened might actually be like the worst destruction that you can bring upon yourself. So yeah, stay hustling, stay learning, and yeah, let us know in the comment section what is it that you take away from this episode. Until the next one, please remember to let your friends and family know that you are a part of the community. Peace out.
Peace.
Let's say you're starting a podcast, you're planning a corporate shoot, or just need content that stands out. We get it. It can get overwhelming. So why not let Evazo Media absorb the production stress so you can focus on what you do best, and that's creating, connecting, and making lasting impressions. From high-quality videography and photography, drone services, post-production, motion graphics, and even a 360 video booth. You name it, We've got everything you need to bring your vision to life. So scan the QR code on your screen to learn more or even leave an inquiry. Evazo Media, bringing your vision and story to life.